Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the next 3 months. We're just going to look at like 5 main things that could be coming up for you over the next 3 months or so. I want these readings to go out basically until the end of March. That's when we're going to notice like the next big change in the astrology, really. So, really, I mean, Pluto will be moving into Aquarius before then, like in the middle of March-ish. But, again, I really feel we're kind of being set free around that time. We have eclipses in April as well, which will change things. So that's why we're picking this time frame. But for your first thing here that you could be dealing with for the next 3 months, you have this card that says, a temptation may lead you astray. This Siren card. I actually don't think this is that big of a deal, Aries. This right here. It looks very positive, number one. And number two, I do feel like this could be love, and I just feel like it's saying, just the usual stuff. Like, don't allow, if love is coming into your life, this clearly looks like it could be something very good. It's very successful cards here, but don't allow it to consume your life. Like, sometimes I think when we get into a good relationship, we kind of forget about work or business or our family or other things. So I kind of feel like this is more saying, like, don't get lost in something. If there's a relationship coming in for you, which there definitely could be, I feel like this is saying, kind of like do the relationship in balance. Make sure you're balancing other areas of your life as well. The thing is like I see two people getting lost in it, meaning it's like not just you that's getting lost in the relationship, right? If there's a relationship coming in for you. So that's what I would say here. The other thing that I'm getting is that if you have like a specific goal, you have this card and you have my favorite card in this animal deck, the spider card. It says make your dreams real. It's like a card of telling your own story that you want and then making it happen, right? The Page of Cups is a very good card, but look, this is the After Tarot, and that fish is jumping out of the cup. I always say that the Page of Cups, that fish represents a dream, and it's something that you need to grab onto. So I literally feel like this is saying there's something really good that you have in your head, some sort of dream, goal, wish, dream, or idea. I actually think it's perfectly acceptable for you to take like the next 3 months until like the end of March to plan the idea, to think about the idea, to come up with more ideas for the idea, and like all that other stuff. But what I would say is that this right here is your solution. 9 of Swords to the 6 of Pentacles. This to me is saying, like, face your fears. You know that you have to change something in your life. And 6 of Pentacles just says start planting seeds. And look at all the growth that's right here. 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, 2 cards of growing something. It's literally saying just take the first step. Don't allow the fish to escape the cup. So, again, I feel both for you. This is love, and I also feel this is like a goal, wish, or dream. You have the Ace of Swords as well. Ace of Swords is, of course, a victory, but to me, I always say the Ace of Swords is my card of laser-like focus. It says you pick one thing and you focus on it. So there's clearly some temptation here on something that you're working on, and I feel like it's saying stay the course, right? It's kind of reminding me of Moon card energy. The Moon card has 2 pillars on it, which we actually see here on the Death card. You can see these 2 pillars. Those are from the Moon card on the Death card. And the 2 pillars on the Moon card say, it's part of the Fool's journey. And it basically says to the Fool, don't get off your path. Remember why you started this journey in the first place. So whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, whatever it is that could lead to success, your glow up, abundance, whatever the hell this is, whatever that is, this is saying do not get distracted by something else, by like a shiny object, right? So it's like sometimes I think we start working towards a goal, then we come up with another idea, then like another idea, then another idea, and we just like get lost. I feel this is saying no, like what you're thinking about is the right thing to be doing. So just stay the course. With the Page of Cups, are you kidding? You have the Lovers here, so there you go. Definitely love. Could be a water sign. I feel like you've had a water sign coming up in your readings. You have Pisces and Scorpio showing up in this reading. I would also say Taurus stands out to me, Earth in general. So I would say if it's not a water sign, or even if it is, I would say there's probably a lot of Earth going on with this person. With the Ace of Swords, you have the 6 Wands, major success coming in for you. So there's like a lot of success, but I like to keep I want to remind people that success is not going to come like super easy right now, but that's like not a bad thing because there's a couple of reasons why this is a good thing. Number one, there's going to be less competition. Number one, right? Because not everybody can do it. Number two, again, you're going to stand out more when you become successful. So, and there's more than that, but I feel like there's a lot of achievements coming in for you here. With the Empress, you have the 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords twice here. We go Nine of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. What this says to me is, again, when I first started the reading, I was looking at that Nine of Swords as more of like a fear, not something that's real. And the Nine of Swords is like having a nightmare, waking up and being stuck in a nightmare. So it's like, something needs to change in your life at this time. And I feel this is like kind of saying that, facing a fear would be a good idea. You can see here that on this Nine of Swords, he's like slaying this dragon, demon, whatever that thing is up there. So I feel for a lot of you, this is definitely encouraging you to face a fear head on. Like grab one of those swords off the wall and slay the dragon, whatever it is. We're going to look into it right now. You have this spider spirit. It says, make your dreams real. Again, this is my favorite card in this deck. It literally says you will achieve the story that you tell yourself. So make sure you're telling yourself a positive story. Make sure you're telling yourself the story that you want in your life. That will lead to the most success. So I do feel like there's a lot of success. I feel like there's a lot of abundance coming in for you here as well with this card. So, I really kind of like where this is going for you. But again, I feel like you need to kind of watch your words. You have the Hangman, the Nine of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. This to me kind of looks like thinking that you're not prepared, but you actually are prepared. The Hangman has put himself in Hangman mode to gain enlightenment, and he's made some sacrifices. He's sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs, so he's not moving forward. But it's like now it's time for him to get off the pole. It's time for him to start moving forward. It's time for him to be successful. And you have the Nine of Swords as well. Nine of Swords like encourages you to face your fears. It encourages you to kind of like be bold, be assertive, really go for the things that you want with this Nine of Swords, I should say, in the After Tarot. So I feel like you need to embrace that energy. And I feel like you're much more protected than you realize. But I do feel that some of you are kind of bringing like a round situation to an end. Could be anything. For some of you, could be love, could be a business that's not going anywhere, like as in maybe you work for someone and it's not going anywhere. But there's definitely a change, even this way. If we go this way, Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. So I feel like you're making a change. With the Knight of Wands, I feel like you need to stay the course, right? Knight of Wands is actually a good card, but he can be a little bit distracted. And I do feel there's a lot of cards here that are encouraging you clearly to stay very, very focused at this time. That's going to lead to the most success. With the Hangman, you have the Ten of Pentacles. You have the Ten of Pentacles twice. Pretty crazy. Pretty much everyone has had the Ten of Pentacles. And, to me, it's like Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus wants us to build and leave a legacy. Ten of Pentacles is building and leaving a legacy. So it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of you were focused on, building and leaving something important or working on something that you want to last for a long time in your life. Could be anything. Could be a combination of things like a relationship in a business or a relationship in your dream job or career, whatever. Doesn't matter. But I feel like that's what you're working on. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Four of Wands here. This could be marriage. It's like some of you could be fearing marriage as well. It's like there could be love coming in, but maybe you're afraid of commitment or whatever. What I would say is like, number one, slow things down. Number two, Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles says like, put a little energy in. If they return the energy, do it again. And it's like, it should be like a nice little tennis match going on here where it's like you kind of are going back and forth. As long as you're doing that, then you won't get hurt. It's like when we get hurt is when we overgive, when we give everything, when there's like no evidence that the person is giving back to us, right? So I'd say as long as you're paying attention to that, then you won't get hurt. Things will go well. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Two Wands. Yeah, it's time for you to make a move, for sure. I mean, Two Wands, he's normally standing at the top of a castle. He's got the whole world in his hands. And it basically says, like, he has everything he needs to go on a long journey. He's got the whole world in his hands. And he has everything he needs to experience something different than his usual story. The whole point of the Two Wands is that he thinks that he kind of rushed to a finish line on the Two Wands, and he thinks he's experienced everything that there is to experience, but he has the whole world in his hands. It's like there's way more that he could experience in life, but he has to leave the castle. He has to leave a comfort zone, or he has to leave where he has always been, right? And I definitely feel that for you here. For your third thing that you could be dealing with at this time, you have this card that says you are going to make mistakes, and it's okay. Sometimes you learn by messing up. There you go. You have this helper card. It says, think before you offer help. Set healthy boundaries. Yeah, I would be careful of, being tempted here with that first card. It says, make sure your goals are yours and not someone else's. So make sure you're living your life for yourself. Again, don't allow this dream to pass you by with that Page of Cups. It's like, it could even be that you have a lover. Maybe they have dreams as well, and maybe you're not sure like which to work on. I would still say work on your own dreams. You have the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. So again, we kind of already talked about this, but I do feel that you are very focused on your Ten of Pentacles, on building, leaving a legacy. I feel like you're very focused on creating a lot more success and abundance in your life as well with this energy. So I really like to see this for you. I do feel there's like a ton of abundance available to you. And I feel like there's, again, more just success available to you as well with this energy. So, I would tap into that. I also feel that for some of you, this is about learning. The Ten of Pentacles to me can represent like hidden or secret information. So I would learn as much as you can about like whatever it is that you're doing. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Again, Nine of Pentacles to me can be a card of newness. So I feel for a lot of you that you're kind of like ready for new energy. It's also a card that says you are more than capable of doing what you need to do. She has these grapes behind her, and the grapes represent being really good at something because, the grapes in the tarot are meant to represent something that requires a lot of skill, a lot of something to grow. But she has those skills. So it's kind of like saying to me, especially going this way, Hangman, Nine of Pentacles, King of Wands. But the Hangman is like, am I ready? That's what I'm getting for you here, Aries. It's like you're wondering, am I ready to get started? Am I ready to get moving? Am I ready to start this project or whatever? And Six of Pentacles says, well, just start planting seeds. Six of Pentacles to me says, try a couple of things. And, especially if you're working on a project or a dream, because this whole entire reading is basically about some sort of dream that you're trying to live in your life, or like a dream career, dream business, something along those lines. Six of Pentacles says plant seeds and see what grows. Whatever grows, double down on those things. And it's just that simple with the Six of Pentacles. So let's see. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Two of Swords, needing to leave a comfort zone. I mean, Two of Swords, Two of Wands. Two of Swords to me, she has that new island behind her. She needs to go to that new island. She needs to kind of like embrace the changes that are happening around her. And when she does that, she'll be successful. She also needs to open her heart. Like normally, these two swords are crossed over her heart. She's trying to protect herself from getting hurt. And I do feel there could be like a very solid connection clearly coming in for you in love. We see it right here. And if you're like too closed off, I feel like you're obviously going to miss out. But if you open up, then you won't. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Strength card, patience. So I would be patient at this time, number one, but I also feel like you're going to be showing off in the future. I really feel a lot of you could be going through a transformation where people aren't going to like recognize how far, like they won't recognize you. It's almost like they won't even recognize the person that you've become. I feel like some of you have already experienced this in your life as well, where maybe you've like outgrown some people, and that can always be uncomfortable, like where you make major improvements, but maybe people start treating you differently, or it's maybe you just have less in common with those people because it's like you're making changes, but maybe they're staying the same. So I feel like these are some lessons that you've been learning. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Four of Swords, two fours here. Yeah, definitely a recovery. Again, if this is love, this is something like that you haven't really experienced in relationships before. I think this is true for everyone. I mean, just looking at the astrology as well, I've been saying it for years that I felt that love would be changing significantly. There's a couple of reasons for it. We ended some Scorpio cycles that we were experiencing since like the 70s, where divorce has literally peaked in the 70s for the most part. And it's because of these Scorpio cycles. Now we're leaving that behind, and we're moving into new cycles, more co-creative type cycles as well, and more co-creative energy just in general. So I feel like if we're getting into relationships, they're going to be, and it, not even love, like business relationships, pretty much everything, they're probably going to be more co-creative, or at least we've learned the lessons that we need to learn to make them more co-creative. And because of that, I think, I'm not so sure more people will be getting married. I actually probably think less people are going to be getting married, but I think the people who do get married are going to get married for the right reasons and, all that other good stuff. At the end here, you have this gate card that says opportunities, home. And you have this witch card that says magic, curse. I feel like you need to focus on the magic. I mean, you have that spider spirit just in general, which is saying like watch your words, use your words to create your own reality. And you have this home card. Some of you could be working from home, but I also do feel that there's like new opportunities that are opening up for you that maybe haven't existed before. You have the Death card, the Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. The Death card is like, I feel like this is talking about the changing world that we live in. Again, I think over the next like 5 years, just a lot of changes. Over the next 20 years, the world is probably going to be completely different. So, I feel there are a lot of changes coming in. The people who can adapt, who can be excited by the change, are going to be very successful. Normally, the child on the death card is holding up a flower to the death rider, and it kind of represents the fact that children are willing, like kind of like open and willing to change. They're open to new opportunities and things like that as well. So I feel like if you look at these deaths that are going on, not literal deaths, but we're talking about, these changes in the world. And if you look at them like, how can I profit? Maybe not even, I'm not even talking about just money, like energetically, how can I, use this to improve my relationships, whatever. I think as long as you're staying curious and open to these changes, then you're going to see the opportunities that exist. And you have to work with the energy as well. So that's going to lead to a lot of success for you. I do feel there's a change coming in for you, but I feel really this is like you that is changing. And here you go. It's like you're not the same person that you used to be here, Aries. I keep wanting to say Aquarius in your reading for some reason. Some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius. It could be an Aquarius coming in for you in love as well. I keep wanting to say it. It keeps popping into my head. And I didn't even read for Aquarius today, so I don't even know why I keep wanting to say that. But what I would say here, Aries, is that I feel like this is who you are turning into. I feel like this is you, the King of Wands. You are the King of Wands, but you're really, I feel like you're really embracing that confident, bold, assertive energy moving forward. You're much more sure of yourself. I literally feel some of you have had thoughts, like, where you look at the past or you look at past situations and you're like, why did I allow, this person's doubts to affect my decision-making or, whatever. It's like you're becoming, I think you're kind of looking at these things and it's making you more confident, right? With the Death card, you have the Eight of Wands, quick success coming in for you. Again, embracing the change is what's going to make you more successful. And, that's what I'd say there. Any changes that you're going through. But I feel like you're manifesting things very quickly with your words as well. With the Seven of Pentacles, Two of Cups, new love coming in for you. Some of you don't want love, but as I always say, some people are always like, I don't want love. I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to stop someone from approaching you if they're interested in you. You don't have to accept it into your life, of course not, if you don't want it. But I'm just saying, it's not going to stop a person from doing it. So I feel this is a new person, if you want love, and even if you don't, it could be a person who's still approaching you, but take it how it resonates. I also feel that you're just more in alignment is what I'm getting here. Two of Cups is my card of like you and your higher self. It basically, the two people, on the card could be like you and then your higher self. And I feel because you're aligning with your higher self, you're finding more success. With the King of Wands, you have the Seven of Pentacles again. So again, this change, I feel like whatever changes you're making at this time, that's going to be the thing that kind of leads to you really turning into the King of Wands. So we're going to pull 5 more things or whatever, I don't know, and we're going to see what comes up. You have this handshake card. It says a meeting with a stranger could be important. The thing is that the Page of Cups I also feel could be a person. So it may not be love, but even outside of love, the Lovers and the Two of Cups can just be a perfect match. So some of you could be discovering a person who really helps you. Some of you could be discovering a person who is like a perfect match for you in business or work, something like that. I would just pay attention to the Six of Pentacles. I would start slow, make sure there's equal give and take, and then kind of go from there is what this is saying to me. So, that's what I would be focusing on here. I was getting something else here as well, but I lost it. We're going to come back to this maybe if it comes back. If it doesn't, then it probably wasn't important. You have this ear card. It says good news. So I do feel that there could be good news coming in for you, of course, with this energy. And I also feel some of you could be like communicating with a new person. Some of you already. For others of you, for whatever reason, I have August popping into my head. So it could be like in the summer or something like that. I don't know. It could be sooner than that. Again, I don't really trust psychic timing at all. The universe doesn't wear a watch. Things happen when they're meant to happen. So that's what I would say here. It'll happen when it's going to happen. You have this cracked cup card. It says dissatisfaction with life. I feel like you have maybe been dissatisfied with the way things have been going in your life, but this is probably the thing that is like motivating you to change. So I don't really see this as a bad thing at all. I feel this could be like a good thing. You have this bag card. It says something important, such as new job or a raise. Love it. It could be increasing your bag. You have the Ten of Pentacles twice, so that would definitely make sense to me. You also have this bouquet. It says compliments from an admirer. I definitely feel there's communication coming in love. This, again, it could also be like a new friend or business I'm getting as well for some of you. Some of you I feel like are a little bit nervous about working together with a person in business. And it just came back to me. I know, so the message just came back to me. What I was going to say is like no gurus at this time. I would say for the rest of your life, really. Especially we have Neptune moving into Aries, your sign, and that will be happening at the end of 2025. Well, really 2026 if you want to be super technical about it. But what I would say is, at the beginning of 2026, is that my thing with Neptune and Aries is like no gurus, like no putting someone on a pedestal, right? I think we need to learn the difference between like taking someone's information, practicing it for ourselves, see what works, see what doesn't, and then go from there, right? I've been like, even now, I think we should be doing this now. I talk about this all the time because just as far as I'm concerned, it's like as humans, I think we look for something to follow. We look for a leader. But I think the astrology is trying to get us to all be our own leader. But again, we can only do this if we kind of like take information in from people and then practice it. Six of Pentacles, see what works, see what doesn't. Again, I always tell a story. Like I do so many things on YouTube that don't work according to the experts. But I would have never learned that. I would have never figured that out if I didn't test things on my own, right? For myself. And guess what? There are plenty of things that they say that do work, right? But I find out for myself. And again, I learn from everyone, even people I don't agree with. I learn from those people in all areas of life. I see what works and I see what doesn't, right? I don't make someone my God, right? And I think that's what this is. This plus that handshake card is like saying it's going to be really important that you take information in and you practice it for yourself. And I don't know, I think it's really important for you. So there you go. But thank you for being here, Aries. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of everything that's going on for you at this time. But thank you and definitely enjoy your week.